So breathing is number one before sleep, or really when you start to lie down, and get yourself comfortable. Get yourself in a comfortable position to practice your breathing. Right now we're sitting up, and sitting up is a great place to be because it helps to open up the body. Lying down is a great place to practice your breath. We're going to inhale for 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's in and out through the nose, right? No mouth breathing, and it's belly breathing. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. So if you say to yourself, I can only do 4, go with that. Go with that. As you practice it, the breath tends to get a little bit longer anyway. But sometimes when people first start, it causes anxiety. So here, let's try going 4, 4. So this might not be for everybody. If 3 was your limit, stay with that. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and beginning again. I'm going to vary it up to like a 4, 6 and see how that is for you. Now, you can play with this and experiment. Don't feel like it has to be this specific formula. It's better that you work on getting a smooth breath that doesn't feel forced, that you can feel relaxed. If you can get the breath to be smooth, where you're not pushing it and pulling it, that is your innate tool that you have to help relax your nervous system. It will turn on the relaxation response. So let's do inhaling in 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to add in now a hold, but just a short hold. And we're going to make it a 2 count hold. I don't want you to get so stuck on this counting, but it's just for the purposes of communicating with you how we would keep either an even breath or a little bit longer on the exhale when we're trying to relax. So here's what a hold might look like. We'll do a 4, 2, 6. So inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, holding. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, holding. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can add in something like this where you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, if that helps you with focus. It's not a requirement. None of this is a requirement. You want to make the practice your own. Now I'm going to, just for information purposes, you don't have to do it, but if it comes to you naturally, do it, is the Deepak Chopra methodology, which is 4, 7, 8. And he says if you practice this repetitively, you will ultimately fall asleep. And some people say they fall asleep right away from it. Of course, it's not going to be everybody. We all try different things. So here's the 4, 7, 8. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you could practice this during the day. That's probably a good way to start. Or when you first wake up, or when you just need a break. If you start to practice it, it's going to become more natural for you. And I'm happy to work with you on this. We also have just so you know, a specialist come in, yoga for anxiety and depression. And sometimes that is why we can't fall asleep, right? Especially probably, well, either one could keep you up, right? So if you're interested in that, let me know, because Amy is the foremost expert on yoga for anxiety and depression, and she has all kinds of mudras and mantras and breathing techniques that she'll go over in this session. Okay, so let's start moving, and we'll circle around on our hips to get our body in the groove. And you can probably hear my chair, it's creaking this morning. And then reverse it, go the other way. As you breathe in and you breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. And then come back to neutral, and let's take our arms and reach them forward. Greet the day, reach up. Beautiful. Exhale, flow your arms down, and let's make circles. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, out to the side. Bend your elbows, keep your arms straight. What's comfortable for you as we start to move our bodies. Generally, inhales are upward movements and exhales are downward movements. You can also play with your breath here. So let's try that. Let's go inhaling 1, 2, 3, and then exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be another way to practice this doubling the exhale. Let's do that a few times. It's going to be 3 up and 6 down. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling, lifting for 3, and exhaling for 6. It's longer, right? It's more controlled as we lower the arms down. Let's take our arms out for 4. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Wherever they lift is where they're at. Let's exhale lower for 4. Palms facing down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at, I didn't even make it all the way down. It doesn't matter. It's okay. It's nice to go slow too, to play with this. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel the sensation. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start to sway. So 1, 2, 3, 4 towards the side, and then the other way. 4, 3, 2, 1, and back the other way towards the right and towards the left. Beautiful. And now let's make it into a circle going clockwise, and the circle will be 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and then go the other way. So we're just flowing it down and then lifting it back up. Beautiful. Let's take our hands to our heart, draw an intention for your practice. The intention may just be to just be a human being, as my teacher likes to say. And it could be that you're drawing an intention to be present right now, right here. Let's take our hands to the top of our knees, round our spine for the cat pose. We're pulling the belly back and we're pulling the belly towards the spine. And then inhale and lift up, draw the shoulders up and back. They start to come together back behind you as the heart lifts. We're making that opposite C curve as the cat. So exhale, we round. And inhale, we lift up. This should feel good. There should not be pain. I'm just doing the side view here. Exhale, rounding. So it feels like there's this leaning back onto the sitting bones. And then inhale, lifting up. One of my students was saying yesterday that she didn't even realize what sitting bones were until she started doing yoga and we started talking about it. So I guess I'm taking for granted that you guys know where the sitting bones are. Those are those bones we sit on. Let's lift our right knee up. And now you might feel that the sitting bones get a little bit, you can feel it. It's a little bit pointier on the right side. Hug your knee in towards you and point your toes downward. Inhale, lift them up, and then circle the ankle around and about. Now you can use your hand if you feel that it would help the ankle to circle a little bit more, then go ahead and use your hand. And then we're gonna press the leg out and pull it back in and exhale, lower it down. And then we'll inhale, lift it up, press it out, pull it back in and lower it down. One more time, inhale, lift it up, press it forward. Try to keep tall when you press the leg forward. Now I'm pressing my hands into the thigh and the thigh into the hands. Pull it back in and now let's circle the knee around and about. So notice your range of motion. It will change throughout the practice as we move more. It might start and it might feel like the range of motion is small. And then as we move it, it gets a little bit bigger. And then we're going to open up the knee out to the side. We're going to sit tall. Inhale, lift the heels. They rise up. Bring your awareness to the bottom mounds of your toes. And then exhale and slowly lower the heels down. Inhale, they lift. Let's interlace our fingers and press the palms away as the heels lift. As the heels lower, pull your knuckles in towards you, elbows out to the side. They lift, palms press away, and then they lower, palms come back in. One more, they lift up. Maybe you start to swim and alternate one elbow then the other, lifting up towards the sky. And then depending upon where your range of motion is, you might press your palms upwards. And then exhale, lower the heels down and press your sitting bones down. Release your hands to your hips. Pull gently the elbows towards each other. You're going to feel your blades move in towards your spine. And then lean forward until your spine tells you that's enough, or about a third of the way. Okay, we're not going all the way down here. Notice how the weight changes in your feet, and then angle your sitting bones and your hips back behind you. Then press down through your feet and inhale and rise up. Arms lift to the sky. Exhale, hands at the heart. Beautiful. Let's do that again. Hands at the hips, elbows pull in towards each other. Lean forward. This time, maybe take your hands to your thighs. Circle your shoulders up and back. Now we're in a mini cobra. As you push your palms down into your thighs, slightly lift your heart. Now don't drop the neck back. Try to keep it super duper long. And so we've got a curving of the collarbone and the heart upwards and the sitting bones backwards. And then lengthen your spine forward and maybe take your arms on the inside of your thighs and your legs and push your arms into your thighs and your thighs into your arms. That's giving you some strength. It's telling, hey, knees, don't fall inward, using your muscle strength. Then take your hands on the outside of your thighs and push the outside of your thighs into your hands. That's saying, hey, outer thighs, do some work. Then take your hands back to the top of your thighs, roll your shoulders up and back, push down through your hips and your feet. Inhale, arms, rise up, hands at your heart. Let's lift the right foot and put it next to the left. And inhale, arms circle upwards. Exhale, side bend towards the right. You might take your right hand to the side of the chair. You might not. Inhale, both arms lifting, exhaling towards the left. You might lower your left arm down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands at the heart, lifting the left knee in towards you. Pull it on in, point the toes downwards, and then circle the ankle around and about one way, then the other way, and take your hands on the underside of the thigh to press the foot away from you, and then bring it back in and lower it down. So we're gonna lift, press away, pull it back in, lower it down. So we're starting to wake up and lengthen the back of the leg. If you notice that you lean back like that, maybe the leg doesn't straighten all the way, that is okay. One more, pull it, lower it down, inhale, lift it up, press the sole away, pull it on in and release it down. Lift the knee, circle it around and about. And just notice this one might feel a little bit differently. Try to lift the knee high, take it out to the side, around and about. So we're really getting that full circumference. Yes, the leg is heavy. It is. It is. There's no question about it. It's like you're using your body to lift weights. These are heavy bones. Okay, let's place the foot down. So now we are at about the right angle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Inhale, heels rise. And notice you may be feeling a contraction. That would be an accurate assessment of the sensation. Exhale, lower the heels down. Inhale, they lift up. Exhale, they lower down. Let's take our arms out to the side. Give yourself a hug. Right arm over left, hug it on in. Inhale, open it up, lift your heels. Exhaling, left over right, lower the heels down. Inhale, lift the heels up. And exhale, take your hands to the thighs. Walk your hips back a little bit on the chair if it feels like they're too much to the edge. And then take your spine forward, hands to your hips. Roll the shoulders back as you lean forward. Push down through your feet. Take your sitting bones back and then slightly down. You're going to feel a tone in the belly. Press down. This is the root to rise. So we've got a little back bend going here. We're going to press down through our feet and our hips. Inhale, lift off, arms rise to the sky. Exhaling, hands at the heart. This time, take your hands to your inside of your thighs, push your arms into your thighs and your legs, and your legs into your arms. Feel your strength. Then take your hands to the outside of the thighs and push the outside of the thighs into your hands. So they're pushing it evenly. You're not letting either one win. It's about even. That's the isometric. Then arms out to the side like you're gonna fly. Hands to your hips, circle shoulders up and back, press down, rise up, arms up overhead, hands at the heart. Lift the left leg and bring it on over. Bring it on over. And let's open up the right leg out to the side. I'm gonna move this water. Don't need me knocking that up. So here we are in our triangle prep pose. Heel is down on the right side. Knee is forward on the left. And if you need to adjust yourself so you don't cut the inside of your thigh, please do. The setup is just as important, if not more important than the actual pose. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. Inhale, arms float up. That's it. Take them wide. Let's bend the elbows so the fingertips touch the side or the back of your head. Don't feel like you have to take your head forward. Feel like you're lifting up, up, up and growing taller. Then exhale, right elbows down, left elbows up. Push down through the heel of the foot, rise up. Exhale, lower the left arm down, right arm reaches high to the sky. Take a side bend towards your left. Press down through the heel and the foot. Inhale, arms into T. Spread your fingers. Breathe in. Breathe out through your nose. Let's exhale down for 4 and lift for 4. So here we go. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it's more controlled. So we have to use our core. Now we're going to push down through the heel and the foot and rise for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actively push down through your feet. Let's try that again. If your arms get tired, place your arms down. Here we go. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. And inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring your hands to the front thigh. Let's find our first twist. We haven't twisted yet. Twist is coming from navel up. So once again, we get tall. Lift up and out of your waist. Then right hand towards the left thigh and left hand behind you. Gazing towards your left arm. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel your shoulder blade on the back. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. Back to center. That felt kind of good. I like that twist. Did you feel that on your back? Why is my phone ringing? I am turning that off. I thought I put it on do not disturb, but somehow I must not have. Sorry about that. Let's inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands to the thigh. Circle your shoulders up and back. Take your arms out to the sides, extending out from your shoulders. Then bring your right forearm towards the thigh if it reaches. If not, take your hand to the thigh. Circle the left shoulder up and back. Gaze upwards towards the corner in your room, perhaps. Then inhale back to center. Float the arms out wide. Now, if it's okay with your back, sometimes it's not. So if it starts to feel strained, don't do it. Maybe you take your arms forward, push down through your feet. Maybe you don't. Inhale, open up the arms wide. Press down, rise up, maybe gaze at your fingertips as your arms rise, hands at the heart. Pull the heel back in, lift the leg back to meet the left. And let's do the other side. So make your adjustments, extend the leg outwards on the opposite side, and just take a moment to feel. Now, if it feels like it's too much on this inner thigh, in a little bit. Every body is different. Some people are tight on one side of their inner thigh and not the other. Just notice it. That's the first step, is noticing and feeling. Let's inhale and take our arms into T, bend our elbows, place our fingertips on the side or the back of the head. I'm going to pull my ribs back because it feels like they're jutting forward. So we pull them back. And then once again, lift tall. Exhale as we side bend towards the left elbow's down and the right elbow's up. You might lead your head slightly back into your fingertips. Please don't push your head forward. That's not what we're going for. Now we're going to push down through the front foot, which is the right foot, and inhale and rise back up. Exhale, float your arms down. Notice how it feels to bring your arms back down. Maybe they were feeling a little fatigued. Let's inhale and lift them back up. This time, side bending towards the left leg. The left back of the hand or top of the hand pushes into the inside of the thigh. The right arm reaches up towards the sky. Where should the neck be? Where should the head be? Well, if the neck is stressing, gaze down. That's generally where you're going to feel the relief. You may be able to bring it neutral where you're gazing kind of forward towards the horizon. And then maybe you look up to your fingertips. Maybe not. We're going to push down now through the foot and the heel and rise up. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Exhale, take your arms out to the side. Find your side bend towards the left, big, wide, and open. Push down, lift up. Arms rise. Exhale, arms out to the side. Find this seated triangle pose. Push down, rise up, and bend the knee back in and walk the foot back. So it's neutral. Notice how your body feels now. Let's inhale and lift the right toes, no looking, no peeking. Lift them up, then push the toe pads down and notice how you feel activity in your leg. And then release that and let it go. We're going to do the same side again. What's pushing down are the toe pads, the mounds, the heel. That's what's going to press down. So inhale, lift the toes. Exhale, we spread them. Push the toe pads down. Take your awareness to the center of your heel. Move your focus to your leg and notice how it feels to push down through these pads in the bottom of your feet. And then release that and let it go. Let's do the other side. Inhaling, left toes lift. Spread them wildly. Then you're going to push down through the pads of the toes, the mounds of the toes, and the center of the heel. Notice how that feels. You are strengthening right now your leg muscles. Release it. We couldn't walk around doing that all the time. That would create tightness, but this pushing down and releasing is creating strength. You can hold it for different amounts of times. Let's do it again. Inhale, lift the toes, spread them, push the toe pads, the mounds down in the center of the heel, and release. Let that go. Let's do both sides at the same time. Inhale, toes rise. Exhale, push all the pads down and heels. Feel your strength. You might even feel the arches in your feet. They may activate from this pressure down and then release and let that go. Stretching our legs out, moving on to stretching our legs out. I am just going to turn this way. Wait a minute, I just realized we didn't do the twist on the other side. You guys didn't catch that. We'll do that. We'll get to our twists. I tell you, you gotta watch the teacher. Sometimes she forgets to do the other side. You gotta watch it. All right, so we're lifting tall, shoulders up and back, stretching the right leg as you lean forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Pull the toes upwards towards you. That's going to get a stretch through the back of the leg. Now go ahead, as you lift, point your toes away from you. You rise up. Here we go. Downward, foot flexes. We're only going to the point where you feel a stretch and then you stop. Don't need to go any further. And then point and rise up. Let's add in some arm movement here. So inhaling, arms up, exhaling forward, pull it on in and up. So a circular motion. We're getting some stretch through that front leg that's straightened in front of us. And then come on up, find your twist. Right hand outside left thigh, left hand behind you. Gaze at your fingertips. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Let's take both legs forward. The feet are flexed, the heels are pressing down, the toes are upwards. Pretend you're stepping on the gas with your big toes and spread your pinkies. That's a lot of work. Just pretend you're pressing on the gas. You're using your right foot because you live in the States and your left foot because you live in Europe, all at the same time. And then point your feet away from you, flex them towards you. And let's do the other side for this motion of stretching the back of our legs with the circular motion. So here we go, circling forward and around. And you might feel a stretch to the back of your leg. Breathing in and breathing out. And then take your hands to your hips, pull your toes upright, lean forward, maybe point the toes, flex them, lift on up. Notice the difference. You might stay a little bit longer than I am demoing because it feels good or because you're curious. Lean forward, foot is flexed. Point the toes, notice the stretch. Flex the toes, lift on up. Arms lift overhead. Let's find our twist. Left hand outside right thigh, right hand behind you, or take your hand to the seat or back of the chair for your twist. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. Love our yummy twists. On our way now to going down onto the mat. So you're going to want to bring a blanket, a block, move your chair so you're safe to come on down. The blanket's for your knees, or maybe you cover yourself at the end, or some people use it under Cobra, but I'll tell you when we get there. And if you have a strap, bring that too. Getting all prepped. Take your time. No rush. Getting up and down is a feat. For some people, they're like, I'm not doing it. I don't feel safe. Even in our in-person classes, sometimes people stay up on the chair the whole time. And you want to do what is safe for you. So this is, I'm putting the padding down there and then slowly lowering one knee and then the other. And then moving the chair out of the way. I really like the chair against the wall because I know the chair can't move. I'm gonna place this under my knees for our first pose in table. And for table, we'll place our palms forward of our shoulders, just about under, but a little bit forward of them. And then spreading the fingers, just like we place importance on spreading the toes, we place importance on spreading our fingers too, and then pressing our finger pads down, just like we do with our feet. Super important that we feel the strength in our arms. And let's find a cat. So rounding the spine, chin to chest, and then inhale the cow. The spine swoops down, the heart rises, and the sitting bones rise. Exhale, rounding, find your cat pose. Feel the strength in your arms. Feel the strength in your arms. As you push your finger pads down, notice the muscles activating on your arms. Let's come back to our cow pose and then find neutral. So that's neither cat nor cow. It's in the middle with the shoulder blades on the back. Then take a little peek over towards your right hip. Come back to center. Take a peek over towards your left hip. Come back to center. If your hands are in your wrists are saying, I got to come down, then you should. You can come down onto your forearms. You can always place hands on blocks, and a lot of people feel that that is more comfortable. Got to get two blocks that are the same size. So something like that, a lot of times people feel more comfortable, and they can last a little longer on their hands. There's all different kind of variations for this. And then we're going to take our right leg back and push the heel away. Push that heel away. Then we may extend the leg as it's lifting and pull the knee in towards our belly. We're back in that cat pose, and take it back behind you. So it's an exhale as we pull in, belly is up to the spine, and then an inhale, we reach back out. Feel the extension, don't rush it. Feel the lengthening from the crown of your head, which is moving forward, to the heel moving back. One more time, pull it in and up, reach the knee upward. Now take the knee out to the side, that's doggy fire hydrant. Maybe turn the knee down and the footprint up, and then teeny little pulses up there. You'll feel that toning in your hip. Little pulses. Then bring the knee back in, circle it around, release it down, and sway your hips right and left. What happens is when we're moving one leg, the other hip tends to feel it because it's doing more of the weight bearing. So really both sides of your body are working in these. Now you might want to sit back or come up and circle your wrists around. Give your wrists a break. Give your wrists a break. Circle them around. Let the knuckles really make a circle. And then reverse it. And reverse it. And this feels good. We tend to do everything with rounded shoulders, and then our hands come in like they're rounding too. So they need some good fluidity and movement just as much. And then maybe flick and press your palms away. And you can use one hand and give it a little stretch back with the other. And we'll come down once again. And extending the left leg back, push the heel away. I'm going to switch sides, so I think it's better view for you. Push it out. And then lift the leg. It doesn't need to go any higher than hip height, because up here, it might stress your back out. Keep it down. Feel a tone in the hip. Feel a tone in the leg muscles. Let's pull the knee in towards our belly and gaze at our knee like we were going to kiss it, and then extend it back. Push the leg away from you, back behind you, move the crown of your head forward, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, pull it on in, lift the knee up, and inhale, extend it back. One more time. Then take the knee out to the side, doggy fire hydrant, and then footprint up towards the sky. Little baby pulses, and notice what you feel. If you've ever taken Pilates, they do a lot of this pulsing stuff. We won't do quite as much. Extend the leg, pull the knee in, round the knee, bring the leg back out and release. Sway the hips right and left and right, and then rock yourself forward and back with your toes coming towards each other and your knees apart. How apart should they be? That's up to your hips and up to you. The wider it goes, the more open it is, but you do not want to force anything, and they do not need to be that wide. It's all about you. And you might take the knees in because when you go back, it feels better on your spine. That would be a reason to keep the knees towards each other. Breathe in and breathe out as we sway forward and back. And then let's find our way towards a crescent side bend in child pose. So for that, you'll walk your arms towards the right into a crescent half moon. And we've got a full moon today. We've got a full moon upon us. Breathe into your crescent moon. And then breathe out through your nose. Feel the nice stretch on the right side of your body. Actually, whichever way you're going, it's the opposite side. And then come back to center. I forgot, I'm mirroring you, so be the other side. Walk your hands now towards the other way. If you're going towards your left, then you're going to feel this on the right side of the body. And so you can let your hips sway the opposite direction of your arms as you make this crescent C. Breathe in fully. Breathe out fully. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, take your arms back forward. And let's rise on up. And since it's a full moon, we're going to play with half moon on the earth. You might use blocks for this. You might go on your forearms and do part of it and not all of it. Let me show you what it's variations. Actually, it's a variation on spinal balance, and it's a variation on gate pose. So let me show you what those two look like. And you could use blocks for it. I'm just showing you. You don't have to. Actually, up like this, then your whole hand isn't pushing into it. If your wrist gets sore, this could be a nice option with the fingers coming off the sides. So here's spinal balance. The right leg goes back and maybe it lifts up. Remember all the maybes involved? Then keeping the right hand down, you might take the left arm forward. So this is our spinal balance. But this could be your version of spinal balance with your arms down and your leg lifted. Also, you could have your leg down and your arm lifted, and that would be another variation. So try spinal balance, and then we'll move towards gate pose. Stay right where you're at with spinal balance as we breathe in for 4 and out for 4. So breathe in for 4, and whatever version of spinal balance you are choosing at this moment. And then breathe out for 4. And release that and let it go. Now we're going to switch it to gate pose. For gate pose, we're going to extend that right leg back and then turn the inside of the left foot down. And then we're going to walk the left block into center, and then we're going to turn to the side. So this is my right leg and my left arm. And I guess I'm not mirroring you at this point. So it doesn't matter as long as it's the opposite leg. Now this is gate pose, and a variation on it for like half moon, we do standing sometimes. This is half moon, lifting the leg up and maybe the arm up. Guess what? They're all options. You could have the leg down and the arm up. You could have the arm down and the leg up. Doesn't matter. What we're doing though is toning. This is a balance pose. You could also have a chair in front of you with your hand on the chair, or a block in front of you just so you feel like you are secure. If you do come down, you're not coming down far. Then some of you might want to take the arm up overhead and reach it over your ear. And that's a really nice stretch. The leg can come down and push it down. And then we'll release and let that go. Let's do a few yoga push-ups before we do the other side. So hands are down like we're going back into table pose. As we bend, our elbows are going to bend by our side. Our belly's pulling in and up. Breathe in and breathe out as you lower down and you lift back up. You can walk your knees back for more. Some of you might lift your knees up. I'm showing it with knees down, belly in, elbows bending, maybe for about 3 counts, and then lifting back up for 3 counts. We exhale and we lower. We inhale and we lift. Pull back towards a child pose, maybe not all the way. And we'll do gate pose on the other side. So whichever leg you took back, do the opposite one. And so I'm going to do the left leg back now, and the right arm is going to come to center. So we got to do spinal balance first. So push the heel away and then lift the leg. That's the first variation of spinal balance. Toes are down or toes are up. You are feeling a toning in this hip and this leg that's extending. Then maybe you take the right arm, the opposite arm forward. Breathe in. Breathe out through the nose. You're staring down and forward, so your neck is neutral. Then release the hand down and lower the leg. We're going to turn now to that gate pose variation. So I'm going to walk the right block and right hand into center, and then turn to the side and come onto the inside of this foot. And you can take your hand to your hip. This is called gate pose. And it is a variation on half moon pose standing. We might lift the leg up, push the heel away. We might lift the arm up, might keep the leg down, might have the arm down. We are making sure that this shoulder is staying externally rotated so you have no issues with your shoulders. Shoulders like to be externally rotated. And you might take the arm over the ear as you play with this pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Leg can be up or down. Feel the stretch. So this is a strengthening pose and a stretching pose. We get benefits all around. And then come back down to your table pose. And we'll come down onto our sitting bones. We're going to go into Navasana or boat pose. You might have a blanket under your buttocks, by the way, for cushion. And you might have a block in between your thighs. That's a possibility too for it. I'm just putting it there because that helps to engage the core. Then fingertips back behind you. This could be your variation of boat pose. Heart is lifted, neck is neutral, inner thighs are hugging block. You might lift your leg, 1 foot, let's do 1 foot at a time. And you're back on your fingertips, but not so much that you feel like you're going to fall back. So you can support yourself there. And you might do the other side. If you feel back pain, please come down, because even with the toes down, you're getting benefit. Now, another option is to take your hands behind your thighs as you lift your heart. Maybe 1 foot lifts and then the other, or both, hugging thighs in towards block and maybe taking one arm or both arms forward. And then give yourself a break and a hug. You can play with a multiplicity of these, meaning you could do several bow poses. You could say, I'm just going to do one or do a few. We'll do a few more variations just for the fun of it. And because we love working core, everybody loves, when you say we're working core. So this is what yoga is. This bow pose is what yoga's famous for the core work. Although there's several poses that really do work it. So you can have your hands on the front of the thighs, the back of the thighs, the front of the shins, or you could have your fingertips back behind you. Then maybe you lift 1 foot up and lower it down, and the other, and then maybe you take one arm forward or both. Heart's lifting. This is what's important. Heart's lifting, ribs are slightly back, belly's toning. Then release, give it a break. Let that block go if you had it in between your thighs. Let your legs become jelly. Just kind of let them go. Let them go in and out. Give them permission to just do whatever they feel like doing. And then, how did this go? See, I can barely see the clock. Good thing, because I will take you overboard. Now, let's take our hands back behind us we don't do this one often. We'll just do it once, but I really like it if it's okay with you. So it's called reverse table. And you're going to take your hands, their fingertips are either going to go out to the side or back behind you. And shoulders are up and back, feet press down. As you press your feet down, your buttocks might rise up, your heart rises. Please do not drop your neck back. We don't want to do that. This is wonderful for opening the shoulders in the front of the heart. And let's exhale and come on down and maybe shake out your hands. You can experiment with taking your fingers out or not. I said we were only going to do it once, but I want to do it one more time. Take your hands back behind you. Push down, inhale, lift up. You might feel a tone in your hips. And then exhale and lower down. Let's go down onto our backs. I don't know how this class went so fast. I don't know what happened. I feel like my watch went fast because we have a lot to do and it's almost over. So let's stretch out the back of our legs and a hip opener. So you might use a strap around your leg. You might not. You might put a loop, or you might make a cross. Your bottom knee is going to be bent with the foot on the ground if you are tight. If you're a Gumby, meaning you're really loosey-goosey, you might lengthen the bottom leg. Otherwise, keep it bent. And then gently pressing the heel and the sole of your foot up towards the sky. Take a few breaths here. Let's go back to that 4. We'll do a 4 on the inhale count and a 5 or 6 on the exhale count, a few times on each side. So breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can stay. You can really stay for a few minutes in this pose because we're really getting some good lengthening through the back of the leg. I know the minimum would be 30 seconds, and then a lot of yogi people stay in a lot longer. Let's do our number 4. So crossing right ankle over left thigh, pressing thigh away. If you feel a stretch right here, great. If not, pull knees in towards each other and take several breaths, breathing in and breathing out and breathing in and breathing out. This is another one where you could count. You're getting a good stretch in your hip. You could count for 4 in and 4 out. You could do that 3, 6. Inhaling for 3 and exhaling for 6 counts. Let's release the leg and do the other side. Yeah, I was reading. So a lot of the exercise recommendations, general exercise says 30 seconds, but the general yoga therapy recommendations are a few minutes. So depends how much time you have to stretch the leg out. Relax the shoulders if you're using a strap. Pressing the heel upwards and the toes towards you. Now you can always play with pointing and flexing. Generally, when you pull the toes towards you and the heel up, you're going to feel a stretch through the back of the thigh. Try to soften and relax the shoulders. Let's breathe in for a count of 3 and exhale out for a count of 6. Just playing with you with these different numbers so you can feel the differences. And then which one's best for you. Feel the heaviness of the leg as we'll do a 4, 6. Inhaling in for 4 and exhale out for 6. Inhale in for 4 and exhale out for 6. We're going to remove the strap and do our number 4 on this side. For our happy hip on the left side, find that place where you feel a good stretch on the outer left hip or inner left thigh. Foot is flexed. That helps your knee. So you could be with the foot down, or you could be with the knees pulling in towards you. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's take a count in for 4 and out for 4. Breathe in and breathe out. Now maybe you do a count in for 4 and a count out for 8. In for 4, out for 6 or 8. And release. And our final pose is a spinal twist. We didn't do a ton of twisting. So bringing the knees in, let them fall to your right, arms into your cactus. Really enjoy it. You might turn your head towards the left when your knees go to the right. And this is another one. You could stay for 30 seconds. You could stay for a few minutes. Twists are very powerful for our digestion. And moving our internal organs that often are stagnant. When you're ready, switch sides. Bring the knees up and down to your left. Feel this nice opening, even across the shoulder in the twist. It's like an extra bonus. It's an extra bonus. Maybe the head turns to the right when the knees are to the left. Breathing in and breathing out. And then stay as long as you want your twist. When you're ready, find your relaxation pose. So that could be with knees together, feet out, arms down by your side, hands in your belly. Could be traditional Shavasana with your legs extended. Or maybe you put a pillow or bolster or rolled yoga mat underneath your knees, or feet could be up on the sofa. Find the spot that's just right for you to take a few moments to relax. And I'll talk you through some of this breath ideas as we close. So you could have an even breath, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. Or you could extend the exhale, inhaling for 4 and extending the exhale for 6, as long as it doesn't feel like you're pushing too hard. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. Some of you might go for the 8. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 8. Don't feel that it's a requirement. It's only an option. Breathing in and breathing out. Noticing what it feels like to have a longer exhale than inhale. Breathing in for 4 and breathing out for 4. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay as long as you want in your resting pose, or rise with me as we close our practice together in community with gratitude for the Michigan Parkinson Foundation and all who support us being together, for the energy of the full moon, for all your bright, glowing, radiant energy. We say namaste.